Hello, hello, my friends. We finally have a Kringle candle launch to talk about. It's been pretty quiet over the past few months. In fact, the last collection we saw launched was back in early March. I believe it was their spring reserve lineup. Now, we do know that Kringle has been running a couple of great sales lately, and there have been some whispers, and now we have the confirmation that they were really working on perfecting their newest vessel, which is going to be part of this launch, their new 3-wick vessel. We're going to talk about that a little bit more as we get into all of this. But what I wanted to let you guys know is that the basics of how this video is going to go is that I'm going to share with you guys all 12, yes, there are going to be 12 fragrances that are going to be launching this Thursday, June 18th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to go over the fragrance notes. I'm going to go over what I think they might smell like, what I'm hearing from some other ambassadors. I do not have these candles in hand. I have been pretty fortunate, you guys, over the last 2 years to have received pretty frequent PR from Kringle. However, I live on the West Coast, and because there was basically a time crunch between when production said these candles were ready to go, when they gave the green light, to the actual launch date, because that window is so narrow. For this launch, Kringle did decide to only send PR to the ambassadors who were within the close regional area of Kringle headquarters, which is in northwestern Massachusetts. So you will notice that a lot of the ambassadors who are getting these, getting their hands on these, or that were sent PR, they are in the northeastern region of the United States. So quite a few of them reside in Ohio, Pennsylvania, New England area. So it just wasn't going to make it in time over here to Arizona, which is perfectly fine. Honestly, you guys, you all know I have been somebody who has been trying to keep a handle on my candle stash. I don't have unlimited storage. And while I'm excited for quite a few of these, 12 candles can be a lot to receive at once. And so this is kind of fun for me to be able to step back and really kind of evaluate, okay, I'm going to set a budget, and what candles do I want to purchase with that budget? And so after I go over all of the fragrance notes, all of the candles, all of the information for you guys, I'm going to let you guys know what I have my eye on and what I am planning to purchase with the budget that I have set. I'm going to let you guys know what that dollar amount is, and also give you a little bit of a peek through the window of my brain to say, okay, this is why I'm coming to this conclusion. Maybe it'll help you if you are somebody who is maybe trying to adhere to a low buy or a no buy. It's always helpful. That's always my goal here with my channel, you guys, is to be helpful. Yes, sometimes I am part of the problem of feeding into or I'm excited. I'm excited about candles. That's why I have this channel. I love home fragrance, and I get excited about all of the new stuff. And so I do like to share what I get excited about with you guys here on my channel. But I also am in the camp that says, okay, we only have so many funds. This is a frivolous hobby, right? And so it is helpful, I feel like, not only for me to give reviews, but sometimes also to let you guys know, okay, even I am trying to make decisions about what is worth a purchase for me and what is not. So if you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. All of the candles that I'm talking about today, you guys, I will make sure that I will have the fragrance notes. I will have timestamps. I will have all of that information down in the description box down below for you guys. I'll have price points as a reminder. I'm going to go over all of that in the video as well, but in case you want to refer back to it, I will make sure that I have that down there for you guys. So let's go ahead and dive on into this. So we have 2 collections of basically 6 candles each being launched simultaneously. So I'm going to go over the summer collection first. The summer collection has 3 fragrances that are, or the packaging is kind of deemed kind of like patriotic. We are approaching the 4th of July holiday here in the United States, which is the celebration of the birth of our country, and the USA is turning 250 years old this year. So it makes sense that they would have some type of a patriotic homage going on here. And then we have 3 other candles that are just being marketed as part of a summer collection. Now, we did receive word after we got word that this summer collection was coming down the pipeline. Then we received word that, oh yes, and now we also have 6 new reserves that have gotten the green light to be shipped. So that's very exciting. So I'm going to go over all of them here. Now, the summer collection are going to be available in 4 different formats. I should say the summer collection will be, not are. That's not proper grammar. The summer collection will be available in 4 separate formats. We're going to have it in their 4-wick vessels, which are 32 ounces. We all know Kringle candle is 100% soy wax. They're going to have the 32-ounce 4-wick vessels, which retail for $45. We are going to see these also in the new 3-wick 22-ounce vessels. So if you've been paying attention with Kringle, Kringle is phasing out the large 2-wick tumblers that were 22 ounces, and we will now be seeing the 22-ounce vessels in a 3-wick. So these are not going to be the 3-wick vessels that you normally see at Bath & Body Works, Goose Creek, Yankee. This is still going to have that unique Kringle touch, that unique Kringle packaging. It's going to be, the vessel itself though is just going to be shorter and a little bit more rotund than those taller cylindrical jars that they have been using. I myself am pretty excited about it because I'm very curious to see if that 3rd wick will help improve strength and throw for some of the candles that I've really liked the fragrance, but I want a little bit more oomph. I have experienced with quite a few candles actually in the past that didn't have that great of performance for me in terms of strength and throw in the 2 wicks. When I bought them in the 4-wick, I felt like that increased. So I'm very, very excited to see how these 3 wicks perform. But yes, the 2 wicks are now a thing of the past. I mean, they're still on the website, but they are going to be phasing those out. All new collections moving forward are going to have these 3-wick 22-ounce vessels. Now, in the summer collection, these are going to retail for $31. On the summer collection, they are also going to be having these single wick mini tins that will retail for $7. Now, those are also going to be replacing the current daylight format. And while there is a little bit of a price increase, it is also because you are going to be getting twice the amount of wax, almost twice the amount of wax that was previously in the daylight format. There is some talk, not at launch, but maybe in the future, of possibly doing some of those, like, how they do like those daylight bundle deals. There is some talk that they might do that in the future, but that will not be something that is available at launch. And then the summer collection will also be available in the 6-piece wax melts. So those are the price points, what you're going to be getting. I think I mentioned that the 22-ounce 3 wicks are still going to be the price point of $31, just like the large 2 wicks were. There's not going to be any sales available on these immediately at launch. Most of the time there never is. I do have an affiliate code with Kringle. It's Katie15. It will save you 15% on your purchase. You can also use some rewards if you're signed up for Kringle's rewards program. They've got great, great possibilities with those rewards. You can usually cash them in for some dollars off of your purchases. So that's going to be the summer collection. Now, the summer reserve collection is going to be available in 2 formats as well. They are going to be available in the large 32-ounce 4-wick vessels. I do believe that those will retail for about $50. The reserve 4 wicks are usually $5 more than the regular ones. And then the actual reserve candles are in a 22-ounce format, are also again going to be in this new 3-wick, and they will retail for $34. So those are the price points on everything. Like I said, you can save a little bit of extra money if you're okay using my affiliate code. Any other ambassador that you hear has an affiliate code, just know you guys, all of us are eligible for a commission on that. So please only use that if you are comfortable. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the fragrances here. I'm going to grab a sip of water here because I've already drank my Diet Coke for the day. And it's hot and I need to stay hydrated. So the summer collection. Let's go ahead and start out with this patriotic vibe that we've got going on. We have American Dream, which has, it looks like New York maybe on the picture. We have top notes of rose, lily of the valley, mid notes of cedarwood, minerals, and vetiver, and base notes of amber, musk, and oak moss. Now, at the time that I am filming this, I have only seen a couple of ambassadors first thoughts on these candles. I've seen Summer from Fragrance Junkie, my friend Drew from Drew Yock, and I believe Lizzie, Hazel 83. I've seen all three of their videos so far on these. Now, my friend Drew said that this American Dream almost reminds him of the fragrance that's lingering in the air after fireworks. He says it's not necessarily smoky, but it's kind of got a little bit of like yeah, that's how he described it. So I could see cedarwood, minerals, vetiver, oak moss. I do like the way that Kringle does their moss notes. We all know Kringle nails moss quite well. But again, there's top notes of rose and lily of the valley. So you're kind of like, is this a floral? This to me sounds like it's going to be maybe like a very, the best way that I can put it is like a natural type of fragrance. Maybe a little bit woody, a little bit earthy type of a fragrance. I'm very curious. I wonder if it's similar to last year's Fog and Embers. Remember when they launched that in the Fall Reserve last year? That kind of had they were somehow able to put into a candle the vibe that you would get being outdoors after like a camping trip, which I don't do a whole lot of. No. Anybody asks me to go camping? No, I don't want to go. I've done it twice in my life. It's not my vibe. No shade to those of you who love to do it. My husband loves camping. Me, not so much. But that candle, I remembered, it felt like when you wake up in the morning and there was still a little bit of like embers in the fire going. Yeah, they captured that quite well. So this one sounds like it's going to be maybe not really necessarily woody, like in a natural outdoorsy cologne type of way, but maybe a little bit maybe earthy. I guess that's the way that I would probably describe it. The next candle is red, white, and blue, and it has fragrance notes of top notes of salted pomelo, forest pine, mid notes of rosebush and cottonflower, and base notes of sandalwood and soft musk. Now, I believe Summer and Drew, they have both said that this is almost kind of like a soapy type of a fragrance, very clean. They do pick up on some of those floral notes in there, but again, this is not overly spring-like floral. They said it's just very clean and kind of soapy, maybe slightly perfumey. So that one definitely has me intrigued. Again, very very clean types of vibes. So I think, again, it's a little bit interesting going with red, white, and blue, but hey, that's one of the things about Kringle is that I feel like they do conceptual fragrances so well. Sometimes you look at all of the fragrance notes and you're like, I have no clue what to expect from that. But somehow I look at the fragrance notes sometimes and I think that I don't know what to expect from that. And sometimes it totally works for my nose, and other times I'm like, yeah, not so much. But that one does have me interested. I especially when they started to say it's almost like a again, kind of like a soapy, perfumey type of thing. I do wonder if it's kind of, what was the fragrance that I liked last year in a reserve? I want to say it was a summer reserve, spring or summer reserve in 2025. They had that fragrance White Lotus. That was actually very clean. Just a very like clean vibes type of thing without it leaning like laundry. It was more kind of like, it reminded me of like a caress shower wash or something like that. But that one, I definitely am like, hearing that is kind of interesting. Now, here's the one that I think a lot of people are very excited about. American Pie. We have top notes of apple and pear, mid notes of rose and vanilla, and base notes of cinnamon, apple, and pastry. And from what I am hearing from everybody who's gotten their hands on this, this has probably been the favorite for a lot of the gourmand lovers. What I am hearing about this one is that it's not overly cinnamon, like apple pie and the fall spice heavy. This is very much like you go to Costco and you get one of the lattice pies and you bring it home, you slice it up and you stick it in the microwave to warm it up a little bit. You get a little bit more of the crust note. The cinnamon is there, but it's a very, very soft. They said it's apple pie, but it doesn't scream fall. So that's kind of nice, right? Especially for the gourmand lovers who aren't yet quite ready for all of the fall fragrances. I personally think that this is going to be a really great summer to fall transitional type of fragrance. And again, I think a lot of people are pretty excited about that. Now, the one thing that I did want to touch on really quickly is that I saw in the Kringle Facebook group, and I've had a couple of DMs about it too, that there's a little bit of disappointment that there are not more gourmands being offered. And I wanted to add a little bit of info here that some of you guys may find very, very surprising. But in the online candle community, gourmands are very, very popular. I think that the people who love them were very loud about it. A lot of, I hate the word influencer, but like a lot of the candle influencers, I guess you could throw me in there as well, tend to like gourmand fragrances. And so there is this feeling, I feel like, in the online candle community, I should say, that gourmands are so popular. Why is Kringle not making more gourmands? Well, their market analytics actually say that gourmands are not the most popular with them. And that is probably why they don't crank them out as much as say some other brands who that is their bread and butter. You know, I'm looking at Caramel Sundays. Caramel Sundays is known for their gourmand fragrances. They don't tend to go out into the weeds with a lot of outdoorsy or perfumey or conceptual fragrances. They might sprinkle them in here or there, but I kind of feel like that Kringle's the opposite. Kringle is known for their conceptuals, for their perfumey fragrances, for going outside of the box. That is one of the things that I think is part of their identity. And while they have done some gourmand fragrances really, really well, I'm looking at you, Red Velvet. I'm looking at you, ice cream sandwiches, right? They have done some gourmands quite well. And the base who loves soy wax is asking for more from them. But at the end of the day, you guys, their market research shows that those are not their number one selling fragrances, that a lot of their customer base shops with them because they like the conceptual fragrances, because they like the things that are a little bit more perfumey. So like most companies, you guys, they're trying to find the sweet spot of trying to appeal to the masses while also holding on to their identity. And if we're really, really truthful, you guys, Kringle is mostly known for what they're going to be launching in about another month and a half, which is, drumroll, Halloween. They are known for, like, their Halloween launch is what is really their biggest launch of the year, and it truly is what sets them apart from pretty much all other brands in the industry. So I did want to address that really quickly, a little side tangent there. If you're feeling frustrated that they're not doing more gourmands, a lot of it is that I think we in the candle community can sometimes be in a little bit of an echo chamber. And yeah, just know that you guys, gourmand lovers, we're loud in the candle community, but we are not necessarily the overall majority. So at least with Kringle, I just wanted to put that out there. So let's get back on the rails here. We've got 3 other summer candles to talk about here. Cypress and Sea Spray has fragrance notes of bergamot, fig, fig leaf, mid notes of jasmine, lily of the valley, base notes of fig tree wood and cedarwood and vanilla. So this one, to me, it's funny because initially when I saw the just the title of this, I was kind of like, I don't know about that one. But here's the thing, fig is mentioned an awful lot in this, and Drew was saying in his video that this is very, very similar to a fig candle from Diptyque to his nose. So that has me very curious. I am somebody who likes fig fragrances. I kind of have to be in the mood for them, and I'm kind of specific about what time of year that I tend to burn them. But I do like fig fragrances. Again, the mid notes of jasmine and lily of the valley have me intrigued. I have liked the way, I love the way that Kringle does a lot of floral notes. I don't feel like I don't feel like they do them badly. They do them actually quite well. This coming from somebody who never really considered themselves to be a floral lover, I have found over the years that I like the way that they tend to do that. So I initially was thinking that this might be a little bit more like outdoorsy, like men's summer cologne, but I don't think that that's what this is going to be. From what I am hearing, that this is very, very fig heavy. I do like the way that Kringle has done fig. Last year they had in their fall collection, they had a fig candle. What was it called? It was almost like a creamy fig, and it was but it was very light for me. So that was the only thing that I was kind of like about. But I velvet fig, that's what it was called. I did like it though. So I have had a couple of fig fragrances now. What was the other one? Was it Crimson and Clover? That they've done. I do like the way that Kringle does fig. So this one is on my radar, especially when Drew said that this is more of a fig candle than it would be what I was initially thinking with a Cypress and Sea Spray. Next up, we have Citrus Solea. We have top notes of bergamot, grapefruit, petitgrain, orange blossom, vanilla, sorry, top notes, bergamot, grapefruit, petitgrain. Mid notes, orange blossom, vanilla. Base notes of cedarwood, amber, and musk. So this one, the label on this, I think is absolutely stunning. First and foremost, I would not mind sitting there enjoying a little cup of lemonade with that type of a view. But this to me, again, orange blossom, vanilla, petitgrain, you've got my attention. I do like the way that Kringle does a lot of their orange blossom and petitgrain notes. A few years ago, well, it was last year. They really went crazy with like neroli and petitgrain and orange blossom notes in their Easter collection. They had an Easter fragrance. I want to say it was called like Easter Petals or something like that. It was in the yellow vessel. I really liked it. I ended up getting a backup of it and burning it again this year. They also had their bunnies and flowers, which I enjoyed. So I'm curious about that one. It sounds like something that would be right up my alley. The only thing that gives me a little bit of pause is the cedarwood and the musk. I don't know like how woody is that going to make it. Sometimes I don't always like wood mixed with citrus notes. But again, this is orange blossom, grapefruit to citrus, but petitgrain and orange blossom are florals. So I don't know. I am curious about that one. I'm going to take another sip of water because I'm getting a little bit hoarse here. Okay, the last candle that is going to be part of the summer collection is the one that has caught a lot of people's eye, and it is Coral Sands. We have fragrance notes listed as top notes of citrus and melon, mid notes of mango and tropical florals, and base note of musk and sweet. So a lot of people are very curious to see if this is in that fragrance family as Yankee Candle's Pink Sands. I know a lot of us have been kind of clamoring for that, and it feels like this has been the summer where the soy wax candle brands have delivered on that. I know that Gift Gala did their Pink Sunsets and Sandals. Caramel Sundays had Walk on the Beach. And now we see this Coral Sands. Now I'm hearing mixed things. I've heard a couple of ambassadors say that they do feel like this is very similar to Pink Sands. But then some others are saying, no, I'm picking up more mango. I don't think that this is Pink Sands. So, you know, we've got some different thoughts going on there with those who have gotten it in. It is a very beautiful label, perfect for like summertime there, but I like the pink and the blue. Something about that is kind of like nostalgic, like late 80s, early 90s vibes for me. I do like it. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and talk about the Summer Reserve collection. The first candle here that we have is Guava and Goji. The top notes are listed as fresh lychee, pink grapefruit, pomelo, mid notes of goji, mango nectar, guava puree, base notes of amber, cedarwood, and sugarcane. Now I'm looking at this and I have a feeling my friend Melanie, Mr. Kong's mom, is most definitely going to be purchasing this one. This definitely seems like it's going to be a very tropical, fruity type of fragrance. So if you're somebody who loves tropical fruity scents, I bet this one has caught your eye. Yeah, the mango nectar makes me a little bit nervous, you guys, because mango, I either like it or it smells like cat urine to me. So I'm not so sure about that, especially again, I'm seeing a lot of grapefruit and pomelo in a lot of this collection. You guys ever notice that sometimes with Kringle, with their collections? Like we all know they love their amber, but then there's been some collections where I've noticed patchouli going through there a lot. This is one that I'm noticing a ton of grapefruit and pomelo being listed. So that's kind of an interesting little combo that we got going on there. The base notes of amber, cedarwood, and sugarcane. I feel like those are probably put in there to maybe amp up the throw on this, but I have a feeling that this one is going to be a very tropical, fruity type of fragrance. So it does look quite interesting. Now the next one is Jungle Tuberose. We have top notes of carnation, jasmine, mid notes of tuberose and orange flower, base note of vanilla and coconut. Now this one, I'm not going to lie, you guys, this one caught my eye. I have a feeling that this one may be kind of like a summer floral perfume. I'm thinking for people that maybe like, you know, I'm thinking of one of my favorite perfumes for the summertime is the Kayali Utopia Cocoa Vanilla Utopia, something like that. It's the number 21. I love that perfume in the summertime. And I'm noticing a lot of similar fragrance notes in that perfume are listed in this candle. Tuberose, coconut, jasmine. The carnation is an interesting addition in there. So I have a feeling that the jungle tuberose is going to be for those of you guys who like a good like summer floral. I feel like that one might appeal to you. Now we have mandarin and basil. Top notes of mandarin zest, crushed basil, ginger root, mid notes of orange flower, petals, orange flower petals, eucalyptus, lemon blossom, and a base note of vanilla. Now, there has been a little bit of chatter. Some people are wondering, is this similar to a Joe Malone fragrance of, I think it's called Mandarin Basil. I don't know. I haven't gotten my nose on that, and clearly I haven't gotten my nose on this. This to me seems like this is going to be like the fresh herbaceous take on for this, for this collection. So if you're somebody who likes a citrus mixed with an herb, which truthfully, you guys, sometimes I like that combo. You all know I love, love, love rosemary lemon. I even like their grapefruit and rosemary in the country candle. But then fragrances like Sicilian orange, I don't love that one. Something doesn't hit my nose right on that. So this one is, I'm very curious about with the mandarin zest and the basil and the ginger root. This seems like it's going to be a very, very fresh type of fragrance. Maybe like one of those palette cleansers after you have like a very aromatic meal that you've made and you want to clean out the air in your home. This one sounds like it might be a good option. More coughs here. All right. The next one here that we have, rose and Palo Santo. We have top notes of green ivy, geranium, mid notes of rose petals and cyclamen, base note of sandalwood, Palo Santo, and musk. Now, again, you guys, rose is not always a fragrance note that I like, but I have found that I do tend to like the way that Kringle does rose. Kringle does rose. Probably one of my favorite discoveries this year was their vanilla rose cone. Love that fragrance. But again, that's a little bit more of like an earlier in the year type of fragrance for me. But they have also done rose in some of their Halloween candles, in some of their like later in the year types of scents. I know that there was like a rose note in their sunflower and suede scent. So I'm very curious, especially with this being mixed with Palo Santo. I feel like if you are somebody who liked last year's Cabin in the Woods, this might be in your wheelhouse. I just have a feeling that this is not going to be springtime rose, that this is going to be more in the wheelhouse of yeah, like more like late summer, fall. This is going to be for the floral lovers who like their florals year round, but they want something maybe that's going to feel a little bit more late summer type of vibe. If there's anything that I have learned in the years past when Kringle has done these summer reserves, is that oftentimes the fragrances, they're good for summer, but I feel like they carry people into the fall season. So, and you guys all know, I really tend to like a Palo Santo note. So that has me pretty curious. Silver eucalyptus has top notes of eucalyptus leaf, orange zest, cinnamon leaf, mid notes of clove, tonka bean, and heliotrope flower, base note of patchouli and vanilla sugar. So again, this one to me sounds like it's going to be, again, in that very conceptual, maybe perfumey type of fragrance, maybe a little bit more fresh, being with the eucalyptus there. But again, eucalyptus with orange zest, I'm not so sure about that. And now you're throwing in a cinnamon leaf and clove. And I'm like, what on earth am I supposed to expect from this? This is probably the one fragrance that I'm like, I really have no idea what to expect. So I do know that there are a couple of ambassadors who are receiving this collection. I don't think it's all of the ambassadors that received the summer collection, but I do think that there are within that grouping a smaller handful of them that are going to be receiving these in PR. I don't know who they are, but again, they are going to only ambassadors who are in the Northeast. So I'm pre-filming this a couple of days ahead of time. By the time this video goes up, we might have a better idea of who has gotten these in PR. But yeah, silver eucalyptus. And then the last one, you guys, is weathered wood. We have fragrance notes listed as top notes of bergamot, melon, and pear, mid notes of rose, orange blossom, and freesia, and base notes of patchouli, rhubarb, and amber. And they even made a special note on there. Yes, the notes are correct on this one, because you're looking at those fragrance notes and you're like, how on earth is that going to smell like weathered wood? But apparently all of those notes are going to come together to smell somewhat woody. I'm assuming. I see the patchouli note in there, and it's. I'm going to tell you guys. I know that there's a lot of interest on this one, but to me, I feel like this one is probably not going to be in my wheelhouse. I don't know. Maybe I'll see some initial sniffs and change my mind. But weathered wood, just those notes together. What are we thinking that one's going to smell like? I really have no clue, because I'm seeing a lot of florals there mixed with a patchouli and an amber note. We all know Kringle loves their amber and they love their patchouli, but I don't really know. I don't know. I don't really know what to expect from that. So, wanted to let you guys know, for this launch, I personally have set a budget of around $100. When I tallied up what I actually think I'm going to get, what I'm planning to purchase with the shipping costs, it looks like it's going to be around $115. That's what I'm thinking here. So let's go in the inner workings of Katie's brain here. Okay, first and foremost, the reason why I set a budget is, again, like a lot of you guys, I don't have unlimited funds, nor do I have unlimited storage. The other thing is that I am actually I have a little bit of summer travel coming up. I'm going to be gone for a week in July, and then I have another big family trip coming up at the end of August. So I'm having to prioritize a lot of my finances to that right now, which I don't mind doing. But with also me traveling, that also means that that's less burn time that I have here at my house. I don't consider myself a candle collector. I am somebody who likes to use up my stash with every season. And so with that being said, you guys, I am looking at these candles and going, okay, I'm going to get, if I place this order June 18th, I'm on the West Coast. These candles are likely not going to get to me until probably the first week of July. I'm going to go out of town the second week of July. When I get back from that, guess what? My mindset, I am going to be over tropical, floral, beachy types of fragrances. So you're going to see that I'm going to make one exception here for that. But my mindset is pretty much going to shift into summer to fall transitional fragrances. Also, you guys, I'm a reviewer, so I'm always trying to be a little bit ahead of the season. And so with that being in mind, the like check mark candle that I am going to be going for is American Pie. Like I said, I do think that that is going to be a good summer to fall transitional fragrance. It'll still be appropriate for me to burn in July, but it will serve me well, again, going throughout the month of August and even into the month of September. The other candle that I'm thinking of getting from the summer collection here, you guys, is actually, believe it or not, Cypress and Sea Spray. And that one kind of came out of, I would say that one, I wouldn't say came out of nowhere, but it kind of surprised me. But the reason why, you guys, is I mentioned there's a lot of fig in here, and I mentioned that I like to burn fig candles at a specific time of year. What time of year is that? Usually summer to fall transitionals. I usually like to burn fig fragrances late July and in the month of August. So that one makes sense for me. Now, the other 4 candles I am actually interested in. However, for me, like I'm going to say, Coral Sands, if it does fall into that Pink Sands fragrance family, and even if it doesn't, you guys, by the time I get my hands on it, I have a feeling I'm just going to be over these summer fragrances. Quite frankly, I'm a little over the Pink Sands fragrance profile right now, because actually at the time that I'm filming this, I'm burning Gift Gala's Pink Sunsets and Sandals. I've been enjoying this fragrance enough, but one round of it each season is good enough for me. So I feel like I'm a little bit over it. I also have a 4-wick of Caramel Sundays Walk on the Beach in my closet that I will break out for next year. So I think I'm only going to purchase the Coral Sands in the new mini tin to at least get my nose on it and see what it's about. Same thing is going to go, you guys, with Citrus Solea. I am interested in an orange blossom scent. However, for me personally, I burn orange blossom scents more so in late February, early March. That is actually orange blossom season here in Arizona. That's when a lot of our citrus blooms are happening. I naturally smell it when I am out on my walk. So I don't really want to commit to purchasing a full size of it right now. I do want to get my nose on it, but again, if it's a fragrance that I like, I can probably wait and see if it sticks around. And like all things, you guys, even if I miss out on a candle that I might like, there's always going to be something new down the road that I'm probably going to enjoy. Red, white, and blue, again, and American Dream, those are also candles that I'm going to pick up in the little tins, just so I can get my nose on them and see, what are they all about, because I feel like they might appeal to me. But again, the red, white, and blue in particular, I don't think will appeal to me for this time of year. If I want kind of a soapy, slightly floral scent, it would be more so in the springtime, not this time of year. And American Dream, I think that one I want to pick up just because I'm out of sheer curiosity, to be honest with you guys. So those are two candles there. That would be, let's see, 31 and 31 is 62. Plus, if I pick up 4 of those minis, that is going to be 28. So what, I'm up to $90 here now. And so you're like, Katie, how are you going to pick up a reserve candle? Well, again, there's the 15% off code. So that's going to bring things down a little bit. So the summer reserve candle that I immediately went to, and I thought, you know what, this is the one that I want to try out, is going to be Jungle Tuberose. That's the one that I am going to aim to get. Again, I might be over that fragrance profile by the time that I actually get my hands on it. Who knows? I might not. This feels like it's going to be just like a pretty type of summer floral. And I just, whether or not I want to burn it right away, it's one that I feel like I'm going to enjoy. I will find some, some place in it, some place in my candle stash for it. So I really am looking at that one. That is the one that caught my eye. I love the packaging on it. I love the fragrance notes. I feel like it's also a one that would possibly go well with, I have my Caramel Sundays Key West Coconut, and I just feel like those fragrance notes are going to blend beautifully with that. So that's kind of where my mind has gone. Now, the Guava and Goji, I am going to tell you guys that had this been released maybe a month and a half ago, I would have picked up the Guava and Goji right away too. Because again, that looks like a perfect summer fruity tropical fragrance. But again, you guys, for me personally, and I'm trying to stick to my budget, will I be craving to burn Guava and Goji in mid-July? Probably not. It just doesn't fall into the timeline of the year where I probably would. The other one, again, that I was really intrigued by is the Rose and Palo Santo. But again, you guys, I'm not somebody who reaches for rose fragrances really anytime outside of spring, no matter if they're more of like an earthy rose or if it's a more bright, vibrant rose. I just usually don't. I know myself well, right? This isn't my fantasy self. This is who I actually am. And will I be reaching for that? Probably not. The mandarin and basil has me a little bit nervous too. Truthfully, you guys, I'm waiting to see if Drew gets this in PR and what his nose picks up on it, because he and I are in the same camp about Sicilian orange. So I'm really, really curious to see what he thinks of this one. And again, the weathered wood just has a ton of floral notes in it that even if I had interest in it, it would probably be more so of a spring scent for me. So again, so that's a peek into the window of my mind. I hope it helps you guys out too. Again, keep in mind, you guys, if none of these are like screaming out, wow, I really, really want that. This looks like something I'm absolutely going to love. Save your money, right? Don't try to like force yourself into being like, oh, I really need this. No, you don't. Like, I review here on my channel. I don't need all of these, right? And I've been really intentional about trying to keep my candle stash something full of stuff that, yes, I want to review for all of you guys, but also to be things that I am genuinely interested in and loving, or think that I will love. So, it's okay, you guys. If you're trying to stick to a no buy, a low buy, it's fine. I totaled up those 3 full-size candles plus the 4 daylights with my discount and shipping will probably put me somewhere around like between $110 and $115. So I'm okay with that. You know, that's going to be my budget for this. But yeah, I feel like I feel like that might be a little bit helpful. Again, think, is this something that you're going to burn right away? If not, you can probably wait for some reviews. The only candle that I see here possibly being one that is immediately going to sell out is probably going to be American Pie, which is funny because we've all, after I just said, I don't think gourmands are their #1 sellers. I think gourmands go quickly for them because, again, there's a lot of hype around them in the online community. But overall sales, I don't think that they are always, you know, the #1 indicator of what is the most popular. They're not. That's what I've been told. Guava and goji, I think a lot of people might be really interested in, as well as the jungle tuberose. I'm seeing a lot of people with that, and I think weathered wood. But again, all of them, you guys, other than the American Pie, I feel like you've kind of maybe got some time to sit back and maybe hear about some post-burn reviews. That's the other thing too, you guys. We're dealing with new vessels. So if you want to, if you just want to sit back and wait, or if you are wanting to put your pennies aside, we all know in another month, just again, not insider information. This is just me remembering, following the calendar now for a few years. Kringle usually releases their fall launch in July, and the biggest launch of the year for them, Halloween, always comes in August. So if you're wanting to set your pennies aside for fall and Halloween, then, you know, maybe use the same mentality that I had. Okay, let's go through this. Am I going to burn this right now? Is this something that maybe I can wait a little bit longer? And also fully aware, you guys, that I live in an area in the country where it has felt like summer since pretty much March, right? I know a lot of you guys in other regions of the country, you are just now coming into your warmer weather. So you might be burning summer candles all the way up until September. So if you're in that camp, I could see how many people would be very, very excited about this launch. But for me personally, I'm excited about the new 3-wick vessels. I'm excited about a couple of these fragrances. But truthfully, you guys, I know that by the time I get my hands on these, my mentality is going to be really shifting more towards fall fragrances. So that's where I'm at. I feel like that was lengthy and verbose enough. Let me know in the comment section down below what you have your eye on. What are you excited about this launch? Are you excited about these new 3-wicks? Have you set a budget? Let me know. Or are you in the camp that you're like, nah, I'm good. I'm waiting to see what they're going to be throwing at us for fall and Halloween. Or maybe you're both. Maybe you're like, I'm just going to spend all of the money and goodbye to my bank account. Let me know. Don't forget, you guys, I do have an affiliate code, Katie15. It will save you guys 15% if you are interested in purchasing from this collection, or use your Kringle rewards. That's always helpful too. But if you like this video, please make sure you hit the old thumbs up button. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.